Krafts with Katie. Today me and Leah are going to show you how to make a salt dough handprint. So you may have seen some of these. So carrying on with our theme of fingerprints, handprints, we're going to show you how to make this, and once it's done you can then decorate it with paint or some other things if you want. There's quite a few things you're going to need today. You're going to need, first of all, to actually make the dough, you're going to need some flour.
But we've already made the dough.
Yeah, some salt, you're mixing it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And some water. So just make sure that water's not too cold. You want nice tepid water. So you're going to need, we've already put it into the bowl, you need 300 grams of the flour, 150 grams of salt, and 150 grams of water, or 150 millilitres. It's about the same thing. So if you keep mixing that, Leah, so you'll need a bowl and a spoon to do the mixing, and then in a minute we're going to need a rolling pin as well. And then the other things you might need are a straw and some cocktail sticks, and that's just to help you decorate it afterwards. I'll explain that in a minute. And you're going to also need paint and felt pens or whatever you want to decorate it afterwards, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. So you put your 3 ingredients into the bowl, and so we've already done that, and then you need to mix it up and it'll start to eventually make a dough. I don't know if you can see that very well. That's our dough. So Leah, you've done a bit of mixing of this, haven't you? Is it quite difficult to mix?
Yeah.
Yeah? So it'll start to come together, and then when it does, you can take it out once it's made a dough. And it shouldn't be too wet. You don't want it to be sticky and like bits coming off on your hands, but you don't want it too dry either, because you want it to be able to roll it out.
Yeah.
And you don't want it cracking and stuff. So this seems to be about right. You're probably going to need a bit more flour. If I just put a bit in here, Leah, could you sprinkle this over the table to then roll it out? So make sure you've got a nice big surface to do that. That's it. Okay. And then once it's on the table, you can keep kneading it like this. And then hopefully make it nice and soft and easy to roll out. Okay, that's lovely. Thank you, Leah. Good sprinkling.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Okay. So yeah, I'm probably not going to need it quite as much as you need to just for the video, but that's about right. So once it's like that, you're going to then roll it out. So spread your flour out. That's probably good now, Leah. Thank you. And then you're going to roll it out. Do you want to have a go at the rolling, Leah?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you just put some pressure on there, roll back forwards and backwards. That's it. And you want it to be a nice shape. You want it to be about 1 centimetre deep. So that's about right. So I just look for which side looks nicer. And then all you're going to do is you're going to get your hand and you're going to press down on it as hard as you can. If you can, try and get your body weight on it. Because what I've found is even when I've cooked mine really low, they've still sort of risen slightly for some reason. So if you can press down as far as you can, then you can get the shape nicely. If you want to lift that up. Okay, lovely. So we've got a lovely hand shape there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go.
And then you have to put it in the oven, and when that's all done, you can paint.
Yeah. Now before we put it in the oven, you may want to, like this one, this has got holes so that you could thread something through, and then you could hang it up if you want as a decoration. So to do that, you just put the straw right all the way down. That's right, Leah, but just push it right down. Like that. Push it right down. You do the other side. That's it. And then the cocktail stick is for if you would like to do some writing on it. So it's going to be engraved on it before it's cooked. So if you and the best way with the cocktail stick, and Leah's going to have a go, is to make little holes, because if you just sort of dragged it, it made a mess really of the dough. So she's just going to do that. You could do all sorts of writing or patterns with the cocktail stick, but if you haven't got cocktail sticks, use anything that's sort of pointy like that, and that'll just help you get in there and engrave something. So once it's done, we've not got time to neaten it up for the video, but you might like get a knife and just make it a nicer shape around the edges. And then it's ready to go into the oven. This is the bit that I found quite tricky because you need to put it on the lowest setting that your oven goes. And ours was still a bit warm really. So I did a mixture of putting it in the oven on gas mark 1 and then also putting it in the top oven with the bottom oven on. So some of the heat came up. You could do it without baking it, but that will take maybe a few days, maybe even a week to dry out. So it depends what you want, but if you cook it too high, it might rise and lose its shape a bit, which is what I found. So as low as you can, up to 3 hours plus really, cooking that. And then once it's done and it's cooled down, you can then decorate it. So we've got a few ideas. That's going to go in the oven just on a baking tray.
Can we paint it?
We've painted this, so Leia wants to paint around the outside now as well. So she's just going to do a bit of painting there. I'll show you another one we've done. This is one that didn't work so well in the oven, but we've still got the rough shape, and we just did a spotty design, and we've got Leia's name on that one. You could use glitter if you just have some glue, some PVA glue and some glitter that you want to put on, and I think felt pens will work as well, but paint is probably the best, and I've read that acrylic paint is the best, but we just use what we've got, to be honest. So yeah, that's your sourdough what's it called? Salt dough handprint. Okay, thank you. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.